Good morning, Soddy Daisy High School. This is your news. My name's Ryan Hart.
I'm Ben Dees. Make sure to dress up for homecoming week, but aside from all the costumes, there will be plenty of events for students to attend. On Monday, a fall carnival will be hosted, followed by a cornhole tournament on Tuesday. Wednesday, the school will have a color war, and Thursday will be a movie day, with Friday finally concluding the homecoming game.
A Soddy Daisy man was arrested after a SWAT standoff Monday evening. Around 7 o'clock, Hamilton County deputies, along with Soddy Daisy police, responded to the 8800 block of Dayton Pike on a domestic dispute. According to Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, the man involved in the dispute was armed. SWAT team and hostage negotiation teams also responded to the scene. The standoff lasted several hours before suspect Robert Ridge was taken into custody. Witnesses at the scene said the suspect had threatened to shoot his girlfriend and a dog before police were called.
Jimmy Kimmel has his show back, and he used his return last night to defend free speech. This episode marks the end of his suspension, but it might be the beginning of a larger clash between ABC and the Trump administration. CNN's Amy Kiley has more.
Anyway, as I was saying before I was interrupted,
Jimmy Kimmel Live is back after a nearly week-long suspension. Disney says it objected to the host's comments after Charlie Kirk's murder. Kimmel addresses that in his return monologue.
I don't think the murderer who shot Charlie Kirk represents anyone. This was a sick person who believed violence was a solution, and it isn't. Ever.
Kimmel's also defending free speech with humor.
The guy in Germany offered me a job. Can you imagine? This country has become so authoritarian, the Germans are like, come here.
Some repeat audience members say this taping felt different.
There was a gravity, but also happiness of just being back.
Disney says it lifted the suspension after, quote, thoughtful conversations with Jimmy. Critics claim it originally caved to President Donald Trump. He says Kimmel's return on ABC, quote, puts the network in jeopardy. He adds, quote, we're going to test ABC out on this. Sinclair and Nexstar Media are continuing to preempt the show on their stations. The FCC chair applauds them for what he calls standing up to a national programmer. The preemptions are a financial hit for Disney. Some analysts say a boycott from Kimmel fans would have been worse.
Money was the impetus for the first decision and pulling Jimmy Kimmel off the air, and money is the impetus for returning him.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Trump's post also suggests he'll extract a financial price for Kimmel's return. He writes, quote, last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds even more lucrative. News Channel 9 in Chattanooga is owned by Sinclair Media and did not show Kimmel live Tuesday night. They instead played news programming.
A woman from Missouri who tried to defraud the family of Elvis Presley found out her punishment on Tuesday. A federal judge sentenced Lisa Fidley to more than 4 years in prison. She hatched a plot to auction off Graceland Presley's historic home in Tennessee. Finley contacted the Presley family about 6 months after Lisa Marie Presley died in January 2023. She claimed Presley had borrowed nearly $4 million from a private lender. Finally said Graceland was used as collateral for the loan. But the whole thing was a hoax. Authorities charged Finley last year, and she accepted a plea deal in February. Lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs are making a plea for leniency ahead of his sentencing hearing next month. On Monday, the music mogul's lawyers argued that Combs should be let go soon after his October 3rd sentencing on prostitution-related charges. They say Combs was acquitted of the most serious charges against him, so he should get no more than 14 months in prison. The 55-year-old has been in a Brooklyn jail since last September. If the judge accepts that recommendation, Combs would be released less than 2 months after sentencing. But prosecutors are pushing for a longer sentence. They've indicated they want more than the suggested minimum sentence, which is 4.25 years.
Good morning, Soddy Daisy. I'm Ethan Rancorn with a look at your midweek forecast. Monday was the first official day of fall this year, and as we move closer towards the holiday season, we're going to experience a slight increase in rain. This week's temperatures will range from low 80s to mid 70s with conditions staying mainly sunny and humid. Friday night lights won't reach the 80s, but will dip down into 60s with partial clouds. Hurricane Gabrielle has now turned into a Category 4 and is predicted to affect some of the Mississippi and Tennessee valleys this week. Ragasa, a violent typhoon, is on its way to Hong Kong and is equivalently a Category 5 hurricane. That's all for your midweek forecast. Let's take a look at sports.
The Lady Trojans Soccer team is ranked number 1 in their division. On Monday, they won at CSAS, and on Tuesday, they came out on top 7-1 against East Ridge. They play at home tonight against East Ham at 7. This year, the World Athletic Championships were held in Tokyo, Japan, where the United States came in first with 16 golds, 5 silvers, and 5 bronze medals for a grand total of 26 medals. Second place was Kenya with only 7 golds and 11 medals total. That's all for sports.
Fat Bear Week has just hit the internet for this year.
That's right, Finn. Once again, rangers at Alaska's Katmai National Park and Preserve are tracking weight in the wild to see which bears are tracking on the most pounds for winter, and they say this year's results are impressive.
The hulking bears go head-to-head in online bracket-style voting, which is already underway at explore.org.
And just like the bears, the park says the contest has grown enormously. Last year, more than 1.4 million people from 60 countries cast votes.
That's all we have time for, Saudi Daisy.